gotta get Egan off the board once and for all.
You're gonna tell the feds everything I want them to know.
I want out!
I know Tommy ain't easy to deal with, but he helped get CBI back on top.
So finally, Tommy is officially back. We've just seen episode 1. We've seen them lay the foundation to what's going to end up being a really big battle in Chicago in the near future. They've laid the foundation for conflicts, revenge, betrayal, family, love, and also power. There are also a few new secrets that were shared in episode 1 as well, and that's something we're going to get into in this particular breakdown of this season trailer. Right after episode 1, they dropped the season trailer, and you add it to all the other trailer and teaser scenes that we've seen so far, it's going to make for one epic season. Especially after what Joseph Sikora teased over there on Reddit on the Power TV page. For those who aren't tapped in on social media, they did announce Joseph Sikora would be answering questions and interacting over there on Reddit, and he said the following about episode 9 and 10. He said his favourite episode was 309, which was directed by Eve Rivera, and for those who know Eve, he is known to direct very big episodes in the world of Power, but he did go on to tease that it's going to be a false finale. So much will happen in the episode, and it kind of felt as if it was a bittersweet almost ending to the show. Now, I did think this was the right breakdown to bring this in, considering we're talking about the season as a whole. And I do think come episode 9, that may be the actual season finale for Force, where it then branches off into a completely newish direction for episode 10, which is when Tariq may show up, which then transitions us over to Power Legacy. So just something to keep in mind as we run through this season. But let's dig into some of these teaser scenes for Power Book 4 Force Season 3.
They come for one of us, they come for all of us.
Now, first up, we've got Tommy telling someone, if they come for one of us, they come for all of us. Maybe it's someone who he's making a new alliance with, because we know after Merkovich was taken off the map, his territory and customers are up for grabs. They did try and make a play with Peter, who was the leader of the Albanians, but Miguel got there before they did. Tommy did say he locked in the Italians, who were yet to see, but I'm sure there's definitely more crews. We've also got an image of him with his hood up lurking around the corner. It does seem like he's keeping an eye on someone or a situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's just got constant eyes on Vic Flynn. Whether it's himself, Bones, Raheem, or anybody else from the CBI just constantly watching him, I do think Tommy will be very wary of not just Vic, but also with characters like Shanti and Jenard. He walked right in when they were talking about taking Diamond off the map, and I do wonder how much of this conversation he did actually hear, and if it's just him keeping his cards kind of just close to his chest.
We gotta get Egan off the board once and for all.
You're gonna tell the feds everything I want them to know.
I want out!
Now, next up, we've got law enforcement. We've got Stacey Mark saying that they need to get Egan off the map once and for all, and I knew she wouldn't be able to stick to what Donna Jackson said from the DNC. Her own team even said, forget about Egan, let's focus on convicting the players that they do have. At that moment in time, it was Merkovich, Roberto Ortega of the Marquez cartel, and also Claudia Flynn. But the moment Vic walked into her car, I knew she was going to move the goalposts once again, because that's just what she does. She did it for majority of season 2, and she definitely is going to continue to do so. Now, on the other side, we've got Tommy telling Vic that he's going to tell the feds everything that he wants them to know. This is how Tommy stays on top and 3 moves ahead of law enforcement. He finally revealed to Vic at the end of episode 1, he knew he was the snitch. He said he wasn't going to kill him, but instead, he owns him. This is also the moment where it does seem like they are going to be torturing Vic, they're going to be drowning him, which I think he can probably consider himself lucky with, because if Tommy really wanted to cause him pain, if he really wanted him to make him suffer, we know what he's done to snitches before. We know what he's capable of, and Vic does as well. We've seen Tommy burn someone back in season 1 of Power, throw someone off a roof, which he's going to do at some point again in season 3. He's run someone over from the Taínos, and in Force season 2, he also tortured one of Miguel's men who betrayed him, and that was also right in front of Vic. So now Vic Flynn is trapped. Now, this scene here where we've got Vic with Stacey Marks in the car where he says he wants out, I'm not sure why this scene is in the season trailer, because this is something we did actually see in episode 1. But anyway, it does highlight just how much he wants out of this situation. He tried to run, that didn't work out. But the one thing which he has done to not exactly protect himself, because nobody is ever safe in the world of Power, especially when you consider it's the last season of Force. But something he has done is he's left this envelope for Beth, Uncle Paulie's wife. I'm sure this is something that will probably come back later on in season 3 in some shape or form. It is maybe leverage that he can potentially use. So let's just kind of park this one for now. It's definitely something that we'll probably pick back up later on this season.
I know Tommy ain't easy to deal with, but he helped get CBI back on top. So did I, D.
Now, on Diamond and Jenard and the conflict with Tommy, I do think they set the foundation for it in season 2, but they definitely added more in episode 1. At some point, it definitely will reach boiling point, maybe even before episode 5. We've got Diamond telling Jenard, I know Tommy isn't easy to deal with, but he did help put CBI back on the map. Ironically, this is something I actually said in my last breakdown, almost word for word, because it is true. I mentioned Tommy helped put CBI back on the map. If it wasn't for Tommy, they wouldn't be anywhere near where they are at this moment in time. They definitely wouldn't be working directly under Shay. They'd probably still be working under Miguel Garcia, and that's a fact. So we've got Tommy and Diamond making yet another move. They've set fire to a warehouse of some sort, maybe going after a rival crew, maybe kind of just messing with Miguel's business, setting someone up, or it may even be just a distraction for law enforcement. Now in response to Diamond, Jenard says, so did he. So did he put CBI on the map? Which again, can't be argued with. I personally don't think he put CBI on the map as such, but he did keep them together when Diamond was in prison. That he definitely did. But as a leader, he was still very raw. And you could see it from the very first meeting back in episode 101, when he came light to the meet with Vic Flynn and also the Yardies. But we've got him in Diamond's ear yet again, and he's constantly going to be chipping away. Tommy's this, Tommy's that, he's doing this behind your back, are you sure that's the right move? He's going to be constantly questioning Diamond and planting that seed of doubt into his mind. And the moment Tommy does something again behind Diamond's back, or maybe even not behind Diamond's back, if Tommy makes a call that Diamond doesn't agree with, they are going to definitely end up falling out. That's exactly what Jenard wants. That's exactly what Shanti wants, so they can then swoop in.
The tighter I get in with Egan, closer we get to Jay. And whoever's with me is with me, and whoever falls short is my enemy.
Now, on Shanti Showstopper, we do hear her mention, the tighter she gets with Egan, the closer they can get to Shay. Whoever is with her, and whoever falls short is her enemy. We've also got the scene where Tommy and Shanti do have that talk under a bridge, where she does warn him that he needs to watch his back when it comes to the two brothers. She is going to warn them that the brothers are going to be looking out for themselves. And what kind of game is Shanti playing? That's the question. Because if she's warning Tommy about the brothers, that also means Jenard. Is it something they're planning together, or is it Shanti making a move behind Jenard's back? I do think when she says whoever is with her, and whoever falls short is an enemy, I do think that also stands for Jenard as well. If Jenard ain't down with Shanti's plan, then that makes him an enemy as well. And I do think there will be a bit of trouble and tension between the two. 1. I don't think Jenard is actually fully on board with the idea of taking out Diamond. The facial reaction, the look, the demeanor, when Shanti mentions taking out Diamond, it doesn't look as if Jenard is 100%. I mean, you go back to season 2, it was exactly the same. And 2. I went through this when I went through the episode titles. Episode 4's description does read the following. Tommy finds a way to protect D-Mac, and Jenard mends fences to please Shanti. So definitely something will happen between Jenard and Shanti that causes some issues, either in episode 2 or 3. But whatever happens, I've said it before and I'll definitely say it again. I would be very disappointed in a character like Tommy Egan if he did allow himself to be betrayed by a character like Jenard and Shanti. He practically walked in when they were talking about getting rid of Diamond. And even if he didn't hear what they said, you can't trust someone who's shown you that they can flip before. She flipped on Claudia and said she knows a winner when she sees one. How can Tommy be sure that she won't flip on him? So again, I'd personally be very disappointed in Tommy if he didn't see this coming. Now, in Tommy's defense, if he doesn't see it coming, it's probably because he has 1,000,001 different issues to deal with at the same time. That was also teased by Joseph Sikora. He did an interview with Nigeria on Big Gold Belt Media, and I will link the interview down below in the description section. But he is going to have 1,000,001 things to deal with. Miguel Garcia, his relationship with Mireya, D-Mac constantly being a nuisance, mending his relationship with Kate and JP, trying to stay one step ahead of law enforcement. I also made reference to it in my episode 1 recap. When Ghost was dealing with 1,000,001 things, something he failed to realize was that Milan was right in front of his face the entire time. So if he doesn't see the betrayal coming, it's probably because he's blindsided and dealing with 1,000,001 issues. Now we've also got Shay returning in season 3 at some point. The only point I want to raise about Shay at this moment in time is a secret that was revealed in episode 1 by Mireya. Miguel killed Alejandro, who was Shay's son, and the former leader of the Insane Princes. They for sure wouldn't have dropped that bit of information in episode 1 if it wasn't going to come back into the storyline a bit later on. So definitely something to keep in mind.
Getting back at CBI.
As long as I'm in, you out.
Now on D-Mac, he's going to be a real problem for Tommy up until he accepts he's going to be in the game with or without him. He tells Tommy that he wants back in, with Tommy's response being, for as long as he's with the CBI, he's out. The problem with someone like D-Mac is, we've seen it before with Tariq.
Teach me the motherfucking game, Ghost.
Teach me the game, Ghost. If Ghost wasn't going to teach him the game, then he was going to go to someone else. He then went to Dre, he was mentored by Kanan, and eventually Tasha accepted that if he was going to be in this life, then I'm going to guide you. So, I do wonder what changes from this season trailer where Tommy tells him he's out to then this.
It's time for you to be baptized into this life. Just like Kanan did for me and Ghost.
I do think it's probably D-Mac being more of a nuisance, causing more chaos, more mess, and more problems, which just leaves Tommy with no choice. I think JP's death may also push him in that direction as well, so those are just a few logical reasons why I can see Tommy accepting D-Mac in the game, and teaching him what Kanan once taught him.
Tommy fucking Egan will be a distant memory.
Tommy's a fucking psychopath. I have one more card to play. I'm just so lucky I found you.
Now, on Miguel versus Tommy, we are going to see both of them making moves on each other, no doubt. It doesn't matter if Tommy made a promise to Mireya, which I do actually think he will keep. This move that he makes with Diamond may even be a move made on one of Miguel Garcia's spots. Tommy definitely will hurt and hit Miguel in other ways. But he did make her a promise, and I think us knowing who Tommy is, he will keep that promise to Mireya. On the other hand, I think we all know Miguel won't. We already know that he wants Tommy dead, and how he plans to kill him is by making sure his hands are clean. Also hit to someone else, another enemy of Tommy. Now the problem for Miguel is, could this backfire with Mireya maybe being caught in the crossfire? He definitely won't want to hurt his sister, that's for sure. But if she's caught in the middle of a gunfight, if something happens to her because of Miguel and she finds out Miguel was behind this, then that really does give her a reason to maybe even spill the beans about what he did to Shay's son. Again, coming back to the secret, if Miguel pushes Mireya's buttons to the point where he takes it too far, will she then reveal the secret? The only thing with revealing the secret is, it's honestly a death wish. The moment she spills, she's basically signing his death certificate, and at the end of the day, that is still her brother. But again, if he makes silly moves like this by hiring amateurs, then who knows. Now on Claudia Flynn, we've got Elise mentioning that Tommy is a psychopath, but Claudia still has one card that she can play. Now if I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, I have no idea what that card could be. Could it be the fact that she knows JP is Tommy's brother, because they did have him kidnapped back in season 1? Is that something that Elise could potentially feed back to the Marquez cartel? Is that one way Claudia can kind of just get the upper hand? Maybe. I mean, it's a difficult one to tell at this moment in time. We know she's still in a business partnership with the Marquez cartel. She still also has Elise on the outside, who let's not forget is very wealthy, and she is someone who is going to come face to face with Tommy. So let's see what her plan is. Now in terms of her being in jail, I'm glad they're doing what they're doing with Claudia, because we all know they dropped the ball when it came to Tariq in Book 2 Ghost. They do have some realism with Claudia in jail. She's in the hospital bed. It doesn't look like they're going to be rushing her out of jail anytime soon. So they are going for the long, patient, realistic approach. But I do expect her to be released at some point. I do expect her to come face to face with Tommy. I mean, maybe even comes to visit her while she's in jail. It would definitely be some conversation. Vic also needs to find out that his sister was stabbed in jail and also survived. Again, that's also another interesting dynamic. So definitely a lot to look forward to when it comes to both the Flynns and also their involvement in the rest of Force. But that's a wrap for the season trailer. They have given us a few more scenes, a few more storylines to look forward to, so let's see what the rest of the season brings after a great start in episode 1. As usual, the floor is now also yours. Drop all your thoughts and predictions down below for the rest of season 3, and also your thoughts for episode 1. Drop them down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.